Hey guys, and welcome to another brand new video. In this video, we actually have two really big stories going on over here. Number one, in regards to PlayStation Plus and the potential for that have actually been being on Game Pass itself, like Xbox Game Pass, as we kind of actually found over here from proper court filings. We as well have been hearing some pretty big news coming over here too. They'll be watching maybe for Marvel's Spider-Man 2, maybe potentially coming up in the very near future. Now, we've kind of been hearing news on both of these sides, so we're going to go talk about that, and a few other little various things too, such as God of War actually winning kind of one of the game of the years, although not the Jeff Keighley one we'll be watching for throughout the next week or so. So make sure you guys are subscribed with the notifications on, as well for the brand new PlayStation 5 giveaway. We have the $500 cash or Xbox Series X giveaway ongoing. Also, have the Twitter and Twitch room down below for bonus giveaway entries. We have the Amazon links down below for all those nice little signups, like PlayStation 5, Cyber Mondays, all that, and everything else too, and let's go dive into the news. So first, let's go dive into this Spider-Man news, because I am so extremely excited for this game to actually happen. I want this to come out. I want to play this game so bad. And I generally do hope and kind of assume that everyone else also watching this video wants to do that as well. And we'll get to the Xbox news right after. So basically, Marvel Spider-Man 2 news potentially arriving sometime soon. So for this, it seems like the news related to PlayStation's highly anticipated sequel, Marvel Spider-Man 2, could be arriving incredibly soon. Since first being announced for PlayStation 5 last year, developer Insomniac Games has shared essentially nothing new besides that initial trailer we saw. While some fans have wondered if we would get a new update on the project before the end of 2022, it looks like new information on the game could be coming as soon as even today. So we'll kind of see, like as of right now, we haven't seen any big leaks for these next few days. Sometimes when we see leaks come out too, things get slightly delayed, or more so it's someone being like, yeah, in the next big major conference, we might see some news, or like sometimes there's a trailer on YouTube that's unlisted and people see that, or there's like a Slack message that someone sees, or whatever it may be. So we're not fully convinced of like the next 48 hours, but I think in the very near future, it's almost guaranteed we're going to hear a little bit more. Especially because we're hearing rumors that should be coming out in 2023, and as of right now, the only other games we've seen are like Forspoken and Final Fantasy 16, and that's why a lot of folks have been skeptical on these big events like PlayStation events or Xbox events being delayed, because there's a lot of games in the back works. So right now, in a new message from Twitter, actor Tony Todd actually teased that he'll have some big creative news dropping today, and we haven't seen anything as of yet. So maybe in like an hour ago or so. If so, you guys can leave a comment down below and let folks know about it as I'm recording the video, or as well throughout the next few weeks to next week or so, we'll maybe be watching some good stuff. So for those unaware, that Todd is set to portray Venom in Marvel's Spider-Man 2, which is why a lot of folks are like, whoa, what's going on over here? Because, I mean, though he did make that tweet at 9:35, and this video might come up a little bit before then, too. So, knowing my luck, I'll make a video on it, and then there'll be the big news for tomorrow, and I'll be the one stupid YouTuber making a video like this. But basically, a lot of folks have been assuming this might be related towards the 2023 Spider-Man game, and although they didn't say specifically on what it could be, just so you guys all know, there's always a chance. It's kind of just like a rumor mill video because it's fun to talk about rumors. A lot of folks are kind of putting this together. Well, if he's the actor and there's big news and he's excited for it, what's going on next? You know what I mean? He did also apparently like and retweet a handful of tweets from fans that were associated with that title too. So it does kind of seem like we'll either maybe as of like right now, the next few hours, the next few days, might get a little bit more information over here on the good old Spider-Man news, which is kind of cool. It's also worth stressing, though, he is also, as people have been saying, although this leak is kind of big potentially, he is also involved in other games and other studios and TV shows and video games. So in theory, there could also maybe be other things tied on in with it as well. So we'll have to go and see. I'm watching myself, and when I make this video, it's a little bit later on in the day itself. I make this at like 7:30. I'll have it up at probably like 9. We'll see. Knowing my luck, it'll be 20 minutes ago. We have some huge announcement. But if anything, I'll be excited because then you guys can let me know, and I'll wake up to that tomorrow. But basically, we are expecting a lot more Spider-Man news coming soon, because in 2023, basically it was like the alleged release time for all of that. So it's a big thing to know. Like, I'd be excited. We're still waiting for more news too as well on the Wolverine game. And while we have seen these announced and we know they're coming, we haven't had more information as of yet. So what do you guys think? Are you guys hyped up for this? Let me know. Now, so for some even bigger news over here too, there's been now a big back and forth when it comes to Sony that was actually apparently trying to bring PlayStation Plus to Xbox, but Xbox apparently was not even allowing it to be permitted. So Sony has now tried to bring, and this is all speculation, I think, based on the court documents as well, so also keep that in mind. A little bit of a speculation leaky type video. So Sony has tried to bring PlayStation Plus and Xbox, but Microsoft will not permit the service on their ecosystem, although Sony on the same likewise has also blocked Xbox Game Pass. So neither Sony nor Microsoft are willing to allow either company's competing services on their respective platforms, which would kind of make sense because, like, say, Game Pass. Like, do you really want to have Game Pass on PlayStation? No, because then people keep on buying PlayStations and just get Game Pass on PlayStation. Or same with PlayStation Plus, because you want to make that individual money from those individual game sales. So in Sony's latest response, we're getting so much juicy information from all these to the Microsoft Activision merger, reveals interesting new information that Sony tells UK regulatory body that the CMA that Microsoft will not allow PlayStation Plus on Xbox, which presumably means the company tried to offer its subscription service on Microsoft's ecosystem, which is intriguing to know, which would also make sense. Microsoft had likewise previously offered to bring Game Pass to Sony's platform, suggesting that PlayStation gamers could still access any content that would theoretically be Game Pass exclusive, and thereby circumventing one of the CMA's theories of harm arguments against the Microsoft Activision merger. And we kind of touched on that in the video before if you guys want to check that on out, where like every kind of big company just wants to seem like they're small for these big regulatory bodies. They want to make it so they seem like, hey, we offer them to be on Game Pass. We offer them 10 years of PlayStation. Hey, we're just going through the motions. And it kind of just goes to show that like they're all kind of just coming up with random schemes at the end of the day. So here's one of the exact specific excerpts over here from Sony's CMA response as of page 14, paragraph 40. Third, Microsoft argues that demand for multi-game subscription services would not tip towards Game Pass because Microsoft would also make Game Pass available on PlayStation, Microsoft paragraph 1.3, which I still would find that insanely hard to even have that pulled off. But the wider availability of the leading provider of Game Pass, now endowed with exclusive, irreplaceable content, such as like, say, Call of Duty, Bethesda, Starfield games, etc., and protected by direct and indirect network effects, would make it harder, not easier, for rival multi-game subscription services to compete. Microsoft's stance that Games Pass availability on PlayStation would be a panacea for the harm of this transaction rings particularly hollow, given that Microsoft does not permit PlayStation Plus to be available on Xbox, which is interesting because it's basically saying in legal terms that PlayStation was not allowed to be on the PlayStation Plus, allowed to be on Xbox or Xbox Game Pass, which once again would make sense. Like, it's weird to have an Xbox Game Pass on PlayStation or PlayStation Plus on Xbox. Maybe for PC, which is more of like a console neutral platform, or maybe something like an EA or Ubisoft that's like more of their own individual company, not necessarily tied to one brand or the other, would make sense. But it's kind of intriguing to see that both these, I mean, I would say that's obvious. Like, it almost seems like duh, like you just don't want to have that on separate platforms. But it's more intriguing to note that there was potentially some discussions going on with it, and there was potentially some legal discussions tied into it as well. So the rationale here is logical. Microsoft and Sony both run their individual platforms, and Microsoft with Xbox and native Windows PC integration, and then Sony with PlayStation consoles, and then a bigger push recently as a PC, as I kind of said. So neither company has any incentive to really kind of give them a competing offer, though I'd always want to see what Nintendo would do. Now imagine how big of a megacorp Nintendo and Microsoft would be, where if you could somehow go get Nintendo games on Game Pass, or on the vice versa, Sony and Nintendo, mainly because they're both Japanese companies. Now you go and see that and you're like, that'd be kind of crazy at the end of the day, honestly. So basically what this one does going to show that it would basically be undermining its own PlayStation Plus service if PlayStation Plus end up on Game Pass, or probably almost every singular game would just end up like people just every game would just go to Game Pass. I would even buy a PlayStation if I could get these games on, on PC. So like I just use Game Pass myself. So it makes sense. Like this is all like a normal argument at the end of the day. So basically Microsoft said about Sony blocking Game Pass 2 is saying, nor is there any basis for the idea that acquiring Call of Duty could tip subscription services in Xbox's favor. Sony has chosen to block Game Pass from PlayStation, so it's not available on PlayStation. It just kind of goes to show that both of these kind of companies are like ex-boyfriend and girlfriend, both fighting at the end of the day, which is funny. I want to hear your thoughts down below. Now, to kind of wind down the video really quickly, too, apparently we did have God of War go and come out over here saying that that was the best game from Time Magazine for this year, with a lot of other various games, too. If you guys want to do a deep dive in this, I'd love to. Obviously, they went and claimed God of War was the #1 game this year, interestingly enough, over even #2, which was Horizon as well. And last but not least, Cyberpunk apparently has been getting back in the groove with the anime and the show and the game, getting a lot more extra, like, nice little attention going on over here. So major congrats to CD Projekt Red. Also, The Witcher upgrades also coming very soon. So make your thoughts and comments too on the Spider-Man news, the leaks, the PlayStation of drama too as well. Make sure you guys are subscribed with the notifications on as well for the brand new PlayStation 5 giveaway. We have the Amazon links down below for all the signups, the Cyber Monday links, the Twitter and Twitch stream for bonus giveaway entries, and all that in between. And I appreciate all of you guys so much for watching here in the first place.